Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Blind Spots. I am so excited to be here today with two amazing women that I met just through a networking experience. And I would love to just say to everybody out there, remember to network. It's absolutely key because I never would have met these amazing gals if it wasn't for networking. And I must say, one of them was very consistent in keeping in touch with me because, as most people, I tend to drop the ball once in a while with a text or an email because it gets buried in everything. So I am ever so grateful for both of these wonderful women to be with me today. And there's some very exciting news, particularly if you are entrepreneurs. I mean, there's something for everyone here, but if you are an entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur, you have to hear this information. Two very amazing, successful women, and I'm welcoming today Daria and Shawna. And they are both involved with She Canada magazine, which I have joined up for, of course. And they are going to tell you everything about She because they are the experts in it. So I'd like to welcome you both today to Blind Spots and share my excitement with how grateful I am that you're both here.
Well, thanks, Gail, and thanks for having us on. It's been quite exciting to learn your journey about blind spots, and to really identify where my blind spots are and the different things that I have to do to help me get along. So I'm just so pleased that we've come together in a friendship and a great relationship, and I'm so excited for today.
Thank you so much and welcome again, Shauna.
I'm very honored to be here as well. Gail, from the first time I met you, your energy was infectious, and I felt this is a woman who straightens other women's crowns. And
Oh,
so
I've never
thank
heard
you
that
for that.
before. Oh,
You
wow.
straighten crowns. And as women who straighten each other's crowns, we're we're
Mhm.
uh, we're each other's tribes, and we've got that vibe.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
the vibe on your tribe, Gail.
I love how you made that rhyme. And I so agree. And I'd like to share with everybody as well that we're homies. We're all of us are from Winnipeg. And I've heard some people say, well, that's nothing to brag about. And I'm like, well, listen, I'm bragging about it. I love Winnipeg. So that was a little bit of a connection for me as well. But thanks so much. And I felt the same way about the both of you. Your energy was just we just had that connection and that just happens sometimes, and for all three of us to be here, it says something about how we can make connection, particularly as women, and the things that we share. And we've talked about so many of them in the conversations we've had, and we've even spent a little bit of time in our pre-show meeting talking about women and how they need to be supported. And this is what the show is all about, gal, so jump on board. So, she, Canada. Um, what does that mean to both of you? And I'll leave it up to you who would like to start that ball rolling. What is she?
Well, let me start with it. For me, in setting up the she-canada.com, it's she-canada.com. She
Mhm.
is an acronym for Support Her Enterprise. And, particularly now around the world, and especially to the South, the economy of the world is really in distress. And Canada, in my opinion, is the beacon of hope where women can really thrive. And now's the time, I believe, that women can band together and to support one another. And so that is really how the name came about, was for me, was to support her enterprise, women supporting women.
Hmm. Shauna, I have to ask,
Yeah.
that's a very fitting acronym. And I sometimes have things pop into my head. And I'm wondering if that was something that popped into your head or you really had to think about it because it really feels like it should, like a really good fit.
It was there right from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's our past. It's how we've empowered women.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, she was very hard to get. She is very delicate, and she is around the world. So just to pick she as a domain name,
Yeah.
not an easy task.
Yeah.
To tell you from the
Yeah.
beginning is that, I was trying a lot of different things. I knew it was going to be she, and it's the femininity, it's the divine femininity that I celebrate, and Daria as well. We both are we love to empower women. So she was forefront, and when she dash Canada came up, I jumped on it and I said, "Whoa, okay, this is fantastic." And then I bought it and I realized, "Whoa, I'm a lot bigger than just Manitoba." So she became coast to coast, and I'm delighted it has, because
Mm-hmm.
I have met amazing she's from
Mm-hmm.
coast to coast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like one of those meant to be stories. It
Yeah,
just came. You were open and it came. Could you please repeat what it means again, just for anybody that maybe didn't catch it the first time? The
it's
acronym.
support
Mm-hmm.
her enterprise.
Support her enterprise.
Mhm.
That's powerful. If that doesn't say it all, I don't know what does.
And I have a
Excellent.
different spin on it, Gail.
Let's hear it.
She to me, it is absolutely inclusive
Mm-hmm.
of every woman who identifies herself as a woman. She's a
Mm-hmm.
she. And of course, we're inclusive with transgender.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if they want to become a woman, they are she as well,
Mm-hmm.
she for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we spoke about this a little bit before we started, that the woman goes through so much. As females, we go through so much. And for me, she, the acronym means strength, hope, and experience. So women, every woman has an experience, and she gets her strength and her hope from her experience. So that's what she means to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to you? She.
To me, myself.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think of it in the way of an acronym, but when I was introduced by our mutual friend, Dorothy, to both of you, I saw the name and I went, that sounds really empowering, and that's something I need to take a look at. Like, what is it all about? And so I wasn't really certain at that point, but she actually is, I think it's a very powerful word on its own.
It,
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, I had the pleasure of talking to you both and went, oh, yeah, I get it now. Yeah, for sure. And it's very unique. Even though, as you said, Shawna, it's around the world, or I mean, it's across the country. I hadn't heard of it up until this point, but now I'm sure glad that I have.
Hmm.
So yeah, so you both have a different acronym for it. Um, I would say shared compelling vision. And how did how did she evolve? She dash Canada.
She she dash Canada. And that's important to remember, that little dash,
Yes.
because in many ways
Hmm.
it is the dash between, when we were born and when we die. That
Mm,
dash is so important, because that's where we build our legacy, that's where we leave our legacy. and
yeah.
and what do we do as women? And at she, we're so passionate, and we're passionate advocates, for the power of women's voices and ideas. And we really started with a very clear vision. And that
Mm,
was to support the environment where women led businesses can thrive. Daria and I have over 4 decades of being in business. We come from women that were entrepreneurs. My great grandmother was an entrepreneur. My grandmother was an entrepreneur, and my mother was an entrepreneur. So naturally, Daria and I became entrepreneurs. And through all of our time in the different businesses that we have experienced through our the mothers, the grandmothers, the great grandmothers, and through our 4 decades of business, it was always the challenge that women faced were connecting. How do we connect and how do we market? And where do we get those marketing dollars from? And I know I can speak for many women entrepreneurs, many women-led businesses that are running businesses. Is who do you pay first? Do you pay yourself, or do you use those dollars for marketing dollars and for connecting and for belonging to networking groups? And so it's always that fine balance of always putting your money back into your business. So when I was developing the directory for She Canada, it seemed to be a great idea to have co-op dollars for marketing, where all women could come together and where all women could market their businesses to one another, and a place where women consumers could come and support women. So She Canada has an app. It has magazines that promote women businesses, and then all funnel to the directory. Daria and I empowered women along the way in several businesses that we've had, and one was a business called Bella Balas. Balas is our last name, and we designed a sustainable development wardrobe. It was a capsule wardrobe for professional women, and we had a beautiful studio in downtown Winnipeg that looked like a New York loft. And once a week, we would have these amazing wine nights where women would come after work on a Thursday night, and they would just spill everything that happened through the day.
Mm.
And it was just such an empowering place where we talked about ideas. And many women from those Thursday nights have opened up their own businesses. And it was the support of women that came together that really instilled the confidence for women to open up their businesses. And so I'm going to say that the basis of those nights and Bella Ballas, it was all about the confidence and self-esteem that women had. And that is what we are really projecting to shine through the directory and through the magazines, is the confidence. We want to showcase the confidence and the self-esteem of women through all of our channels of marketing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Networking and marketing.
It's networking and marketing and
Yeah.
coming together and supporting one another and having the confidence
Mm-hmm.
to uphold one another and to give each other ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And, not to, the world is full of business.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to get women out there to show their products, their services, and the wonderful experiences that they have to offer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And sharing some of the challenges as well that women share in business. And sometimes people think they're alone and it just feels so heavy. But when you get together and what a gift that you provided for people. It's like, darn it, why did I move from Winnipeg? I could have come to wine night. um, but it's just that community. It's that sense of belonging, which is absolutely so critical, and it's so powerful. And the mentoring that can take place as well, and the connection, sometimes even lifelong, that can be made. And as well, just to speak back to spending of money. I've heard Dorothy say this multiple times, Dorothy from Womanition. She talks about 80% of the disposable income in any household on average is done by women. Women do 80% of the purchasing. And so there's a lot of power in that when you think about it. And we have so many entrepreneurs well, around the world, really, but focusing on Canada here, there's so many women entrepreneurs in Canada. The percentage compared to, say, a lot of large business, I think if it was, on a sort of a ratio of not necessarily one to one, but just comparison's sake, that it would be colossal, like the number of businesses that we have that are being run by women. And then they all need the support.
Absolutely. They all need
Hmm.
the support.
Hmm.
And it's the nurturing of women.
Hmm.
Daria started our session from the beginning, straightening her crown. That is what the She Canada is all about. The
Hmm.
directory is about straightening the crown, celebrating the women
Hmm.
that have businesses, encouraging other women to support these women that have dedicated themselves. And
Yeah.
when we think about the mother, the nurturer,
Hmm.
the one that is always picking up the pieces, these women are absolutely incredible. The women that I've spoke to that have registered their businesses through She Canada, through the directory, their stories are so amazing. And
Hmm.
I'm so excited to be able to share and promote those stories
Hmm.
of these women of substance
Hmm.
that that are just living their dreams. They're
Hmm.
dreaming big and they're
Hmm.
grabbing hold of it and
Hmm.
and moving on. So it again, it's all about that confidence and self-esteem.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if I can jump in on that, confidence and self-esteem, two words, a lot of women think they mean the same. In my opinion, and at She Canada, true success of a she is when she can have confidence and self-esteem at the same time. We meet a lot of women who are very confident, but their self-esteem is so low. We meet a lot of women who have great self-esteem, but their confidence is low. And just to, talk about the differences, confidence, in our opinion, and at She Canada, is Gail, you have confidence because you know your business, you excel at your business, you can speak about your business, you've been trained. So, all of the knowledge about what you do is your confidence. And you're one of the fortunate ones because you have self esteem at the same time.
Hmm.
But when a woman has got confidence and low self-esteem, so again, she may be a dentist and be phenomenally skilled in her profession. However, her self-esteem is so low. She has no self-worth. She doesn't love
Hmm.
herself. She
Hmm.
doesn't honor herself. She doesn't celebrate herself. So that low self-esteem is so damaging. And
Hmm.
low self-esteem is a liar, right? Low self-esteem is a liar. Low self-esteem comes from, and Gail, I'm sure you'll agree to this, low self-esteem comes from perhaps not the right positive parenting. Maybe it was bullying. It was being put down. Maybe it was a very terrible traumatic situation that happened to a woman as a child. And that all really dampens the self-esteem. And again, she can be confident in her trait, but personally, her self-esteem is low. And it's so painful to see because you can congratulate a woman being at the top in her field, and then you can say to her, "You look amazing in this dress, in the dress you're wearing," and she'll say, "Oh, this old thing. Oh,
Hmm.
do you really think so? Do you really
Hmm.
think it's a nice dress?"
Hmm.
Confident women with high self-esteem say, "Thank you. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite pieces."
Hmm.
Now, if we can get women to have confidence and self esteem, we will see so many more successes in female entrepreneurship. And the great thing about it, both confidence and self esteem can be fixed. Confidence, if we don't have the confidence in our trait, go back to schooling, do
Hmm.
some online courses, learn a different skill, learn something new that you can add to your business that gives you that confidence. And with self-esteem, that is very repairable as well. And I'm sure, Gail, in your profession, you see a lot of it. Women with poor, low self-esteem, they can go to someone like you and have their brain rewired to lift their self-esteem to match their confidence level. And we've heard so many stories from female entrepreneurs about, their self-esteem, how they have no self-worth, and they have the imposter syndrome, and they have that little voice that says, no, I can't really do it. No, I don't look good. No, I don't feel good. No, I don't love myself. Well, that is all a lie. That imposter syndrome voice is a liar. That the voice that says, oh, I can't do it, that's a liar too. As women, we have so many liars in our heads that try to convince us of something other than we are. So, again, confidence, a confident woman when she is nice to other women, when she's silent, and when she straightens another woman's crown. The women with little confidence or no confidence, they're going to take you down. They're not going to straighten your crown. They're going to knock it off, or they'll take your idea and try to do it better, and they fail at that anyways. And they're loud. They want to knock you down. So that's, confident. She's going to help all the she's. The woman with no confidence, she's going to knock everyone down. And the women with self-esteem, the same. Women with high self-esteem, they're so nurturing. They're so caring. They want to help, and overall, again, if we can encourage women, if we can go with that message, get your confidence and your self-esteem at the same level, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. But the imbalance of confidence and low self-esteem, you're out of sync. And, again, women are fortunate that they can lean on coaches like you, Gail, to fix that self-esteem.
So, Daria, I want to thank you for explaining that because, of course, in the work I do, I am aware and I speak to people quite regularly about confidence and self-esteem and how they're different and where they both come from and what the variables are. But I haven't thought of it in that way where the best combo of that is a balance. And there are so many factors, and we could really have a whole nother show about what those are. But the question that's coming to mind for me, for both of you, is what, if you've seen any of this ever, if you've experienced it, just meeting other women, talking to them, and you're kind of getting that sense that maybe the self-esteem isn't where it needs to be to move forward with a business in the way it needs to be, in the way that you can increase your likelihood of success. What is the risk of not having that balance? Like when we aren't feeling really connected to our self-worth when we're going to start a business, what are some of the things that could really derail us from that? So I'd love to hear from you both.
Yeah, that is a great question, Gail. Absolutely phenomenal question. And I always share when I'm speaking with a woman and she's talking about her business or, no self-worth, I always speak from my own experience. She as in strength, hope from my own experience. And what I've learned dealing with many female entrepreneurs is when they have low self-esteem, although they may have a phenomenal business model, if they have low self-esteem, even walking into a financial institution, they're not going to be taken seriously. If I am pitching She Canada and I'm talking about its strengths and its business, its solutions, how it's going to help solve women's problems, and if I go on to say, yeah, but, I don't know how it's going to work. And, oh boy, I don't know if the color pink, gold, white is right. It shows so much weakness in that self-esteem. we have to be able to speak as confidently, the confidence that we have in our business models, we have to extrapolate that and make sure that our self-esteem is high. I have learned people with low self-esteem are not taken seriously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's fixable. It's
Mm-hmm.
really fixable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so this might be a tough question. Oh, and then Shawna, I'd like to hear, yours as well. So, but then there's one more question I have on top of that. So, let's hear from Shawna about the
For me,
self.
the idea of having low self-esteem and confidence is
Mm-hmm.
that, as Daria said, you have a phenomenal idea, a
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal business,
Mm-hmm.
and those businesses can't run themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you don't have your elevator pitch, your mission statement memorized, if you're not reading that every morning, if you don't have that personal power to walk into a room and to shake hands and meeting the number of meeting women that I meet that say, "Oh, I left my cards in my other purse. Oh, I ran out of cards." It's being prepared. It's being on your game. So if you're not on your game and your low self-esteem is low and you can't say what your product is in that first instance, then you've lost people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the detriment to your business.
Mm-hmm.
In anything that we do, if we're a lawyer, an accountant, an artist, a dancer, a opera singer, if we can't sell ourselves, we're all salesmen in the end, or saleswomen in the end. We all have to sell what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We have to sell ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly that's what She Canada is a great compliment.
Mm-hmm.
It's the listings that we have that we offer women. They're broad. They say exactly what you do. So we've helped women. We've solved some of their problems by saying, you know what, here it is. This is what I do. Come back to my website, and I will tell you everything. It will tell you everything about me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem that we're solving for women that just need that backbone. So it really, for me, it's it's being your best salesperson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I've changed my question after hearing after hearing what you just said. And
Yeah.
again, this is for both of you. As you were going through the motions of, giving birth to this idea, and I'm sure there were hiccups. There in anything new, there's hiccups. Like, were there times that you perhaps had doubt or went, "Oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this, and I'm terrified." Um, and if there were, how did you handle it?
Oh, I can jump in on that one first.
Okay, let's hear it.
She Dash Canada is Shauna's brainchild,
Mhm.
and she birthed it, and she had phenomenally excruciating labor pains. Not about the concept, not about what her purpose was to have women support women all across the country. I mean, COVID has taught us we can do business over Zoom
Mhm.
anywhere, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And the strength, I'm going to divert a bit, is that women, we're at the tipping point.
Mhm.
There's a phenomenal author that wrote the book, Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell.
Oh, he's one of
And
my favorites.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And he says that when you're at the tipping point,
Mhm.
magic happens.
Mhm.
And women right now are at the tipping point. And
Mhm.
it's situations like this it's an opportunity like She Dash Canada for us women to collaborate to hit the tipping point. But about the labor pains, Shawna went through so many labor pains, not her doing technology. And you and I talked about technology before we started. Why all of a sudden is the back end not working? Well, the web designer did something different and didn't hit the right switch. We don't know that, right? So, Shawna, I think you would agree with me. It was the back end technology that you just about ripped your hair out over.
It was painful some days. Often as with all of my businesses, Gail, is I would wake up and say, why am I doing this? I'm in my sixth decade, and why am I doing this? I do wake up and I say, why am I not retired? It's about living a legacy for me. It's about helping women to strive to experience what I've experienced. And I know so many women are suffering because they don't have the marketing dollars, the funding. Men get a lot of funding and women do not, and that we know. And how can we support women and give them the step up? It's by doing things like this. It's about co-op advertising is really what this is all about. So, I I wake up daily, say, geez, how am I going to survive this day? It's it for me. It's interesting. Technology is interesting. We don't answer phones. We don't answer emails. If we don't know who it is, we've got spam blockers. Those are the things that I have to work with all the time is how do I get in front of women? How do I sell myself to women if they're not answering the phone, if they're not answering their emails? And when I speak to women in business, this is happening to everyone. Technology has been fantastic, but as Daria said, it also has been difficult. We've been spammed so much. We're scared. There is fear in working online, but we have to, as female entrepreneurs, we have to keep up with the times. When I started 43 years ago, I didn't even have a business card. My job was from the last job I did. And I was never so busy in all my life. I was getting passed on from one client to the next. And then email came in. And I had to figure out, what that was all about 30 years ago. And now, technology, I have 10 emails. One email just went down last week. The email that I had for 43 years. And I was beside myself because that was my identity. So those are the things that, I wake up to say, computer was not my first language.
Right.
In our generation, I think that we're in the same generation. We're dealing with something that was not our first language.
Yeah.
And that is the difficult part about being an entrepreneur in your 60s and dealing with learning everything new. Now that AI has come in, I have embraced AI 100%. It's so much more to learn now. So we have so many options. Where do we land?
Yeah.
So I've given a place to land.
So true. And, I want to add to what Shawna said. So many female entrepreneurs, when they go in to try to arrange some financing, well, what does your husband do? And can he co-sign? And, the male has to come into the play. And that is changing. And, I've learned about Scotiabank's Women's Initiative, and they are very, very strong supporters of female entrepreneurs. And there's no bias. And there's no, you don't need a man to come and co-sign for you. You can do it
Mm-hmm.
on your own. Of course, they've got, you know, rules and restrictions, but
Mm-hmm.
Scotiabank is donating billions of dollars to female entrepreneurs. So, you know, a
Mm-hmm.
financial organization like that, they become a leader in supporting female entrepreneurs, and it's so exciting. It's so
Mm-hmm.
exciting with what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm hearing a couple of things from you both is that what you just said, Daria, there is so much support. We just have to know where to go. And we could start at she.canada, or dot dash. Oh my gosh, I got my dots and dashes mixed up. And Shawna, I really related to what you said too about waking up every morning going, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And you said you're in your, what did you say, your sixth decade?
Yes, sixth decade.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I should say this out loud to the whole wide world, but I just entered my seventh decade.
That's
Wonderful.
fantastic.
And
Congratulations.
Mhm.
yeah, well, thanks. I do feel like pretty darn good, and it's I do that some days too, and go like, should I retire? And even my friends say, well, you know, your husband's retired. I'm like, good for him. I hope he's enjoying himself
Yeah.
because that's not for me. But thanks, you know. But and I'm sensing that it's the same for both of you. You do it because you love it. You do it because you're passionate, because you care, and because it's a cause. There's a cause.
And a
There,
challenge.
there's a
Challenge.
real shift. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, Shauna, Gail, myself, our generation, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
think about it from what we've gone through. And when you think about your mom at the age of 60 or 70, she
Mm-hmm.
was not one of us. She was
No,
not one of
very
us.
different. Yeah.
And age means nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
what our generation,
Mm-hmm.
in addition to supporting women,
Mm-hmm.
our role and what we have to do is we have to teach that next generation
Mm-hmm.
of females coming up that, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
don't put a ceiling on you. You know, here we've got
Yeah.
60, 70, and 80-year-olds that are
Mm-hmm.
still passionate about working and what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Age means nothing, it's a number.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting how times have changed with
So much.
age.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the perception of it, and you know what you said too, Shauna, about changing the times and how technology changes and how we have to keep up, and how AI has changed things for a lot of us. I don't use it a lot, but I do use it, and as I use it, I'm learning more about it, and it can be a very useful tool. And FYI, this is something I just found out a while ago, and I don't know if it's in the other provinces, but in Alberta here, and it's something for people to check. And it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, but there are some universities that will let people over the age of 65 take courses for absolutely no dollars. And that blew my mind. Now, can you work towards a degree? No. But if you wanted to, you could pay for it. But still, just to get the education and then have that community with the people that are in your class. Like it's just about the growth and it's about staying current. And I discovered through the podcast world that there is a lady who is 80-ish, 80 and a bit, and she has a podcast and she reads children's stories.
Hmm.
So if you can't read your kid a bedtime story, just put on the podcast and she's there to do it.
How
Like
wonderful.
there is so much out there to discover. And if we don't network and if we don't ask questions and if we don't work at, and I know this is difficult because I've experienced fear at different times of my life of the two things I've decided in my mind are that we fear the most are fear of failure and fear of what other people will think.
Mhm.
And to both of those, I've started saying to fear, I don't care. I'll have it, I'll feel it. But as per Dr. Susan Jeffers, who wrote Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, sometimes you've just got to power through. And then you look back and you go, oh, that wasn't so bad. I can do this now and I can do that. and then you gain the confidence, and then it supports your self-esteem. And back to what you were saying, Doria, like it's all part and parcel, but just take some action. And as far as what people think, well, we can't please everybody. And we won't agree with everybody's thoughts, perspectives, beliefs, values, and that's okay. Like none of us on this call are here to please everybody. You are both providing an amazing service for women, and they just need to jump in, join up, and see what it's all about. Stick your toe in the water. Change is
Absolutely.
tough,
Yeah,
right?
it is tough, and I love
Yeah.
that you said that, Gail, and I know we have to end soon. I wish we could go all day. But what I want to add to that is
Hmm.
I always had that fear. Oh, what are people going to think if I do
Yeah.
this? What are people going to think if I
Yeah.
do that? What And I have gone through an extensive rewiring in my
Hmm.
brain, an
Hmm.
extensive paradigm shift.
Mm.
And quite frankly, it is none of my business what anybody thinks about who I am, what I'm
Hmm.
doing, and where I'm going. It's
Yeah.
none of my business.
Yeah.
And when I've adopted that paradigm shift, it's
Hmm.
empowering. It
Hmm.
that does not let fear knock on the door.
Yeah.
And as you know, self-sabotaging is a liar. Fear's a
Yeah.
liar too.
It is.
Fear,
Yeah.
fear is such a liar.
We do have a choice. We can choose to address it or not. Address it or ignore it. You take your pick. According to Darwin, we can choose. That's
That's
one
right.
thing that makes us different from the animal kingdom, right? Is being human. We can't choose one thought over the other. So, ladies,
If I could just add to that,
yeah, I was going to ask if there was something else for
yeah,
sure.
I at the end of my 50s and going into, especially when I entered my sixth decade,
Hmm.
I I really felt freedom to
Mm.
be able to say what I wanted, to do what I wanted, to
Hmm.
not really care what, I do care what people think,
Yeah,
but really, on the whole, no, I don't.
yeah.
And I think it's age that, we're not so materialistic anymore.
Hmm.
We want to provide value to life,
Hmm.
and we're more at peace with ourselves.
Well said. Definitely at
Yeah,
peace. Hmm. Yeah,
absolutely.
and not carrying that gunny sack around on our back about what will people think, and oh my gosh, I said this and who did I offend? And someone said this to me many, many years ago that if you speak from your heart with pure intention and you don't have the intention to purposely hurt or harm anyone, if they get offended, that's a them thing.
Mhm.
That there's nothing I can do about it. And if you did find something that I've said to be offensive, will they come and respectfully talk to me about it? And maybe it was just taken out of context. And then I think about what a beautiful conversation that could be and how we could then expand our connections to others. So it can keep growing and building and um yeah. So um for our audience, again, question to you both as always, what can someone expect when they reach out to you? And of course, before we wrap up, we'll get your information as to where everyone can get a hold of you. What can they expect when they become a member of She Dash Canada?
Well, what the main thing is that they can expect visibility and exposure.
Mm,
When we first started the directory, it was so important to build a database of female consumers, and so
mm,
that was the first step that we took,
mhm,
is building a base
mhm,
so that we had a product to sell to women that had businesses. That was the problem that we felt was most important to solve in our business. Is there's so many B2B directories,
mm, mhm.
there are no B2C directories. So what directory do you put your business on for female consumers to go. So we built a
Hmm.
database, and that database now goes out and is growing organically. And so when you sign up for a listing with She Canada, we decided to give you three listings. So you have your feature listing, which is for, I'm going to use you as an example, Gail,
Mhm.
is your feature listing is the blind spot. This is your coaching business. This is what you do. Your secondary listing is your podcast.
Mhm.
And and so you can promote that podcast all in its own identity.
Mhm.
And then perhaps you're going to be doing a workshop. So you can have a URL code that is your workshop. And because the directory is just so nice to use in the back end, is you can constantly change those listings
Mhm.
to where you're growing and how you're developing.
Mhm.
And you have the ability to book appointments on your listing. You have the ability to sell things through your listing. So it has many different features that the average directory listing does not have.
Mhm.
We take that listing and we're going to be promoting it to our database of 10,000 plus women, which is growing. And and we're promoting it through an app. So we've got an app.
Mhm.
We have a social media platform, but what we're doing is we're curating themed magazines. So magazines on coaching. Oh,
Mhm.
what there's so many coaches in different capacities that what do you need? So we're
Mhm.
developing a magazine that talks about all the different disciplines of coaching and different coaches that are across Canada that you can connect to. And with the world, the global world, if you're in Halifax and you want to connect with a blind spot, you absolutely can because it's all. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
On we have a business. We have a magazine on business services that an entrepreneur needs. We have a magazine that's being developed on all Canadian fashion designers. We need to support
Mhm.
Canadian fashion designers. We
Mhm.
have a magazine on pets, on where you can take your what pet hotels are in Canada. What's the product?
Mhm.
So whatever category you have, we have a magazine for you. And
Mhm.
that magazine constantly develops because it's digital. And
Right.
so, if you call me and say, I've got a workshop happening, Shauna, I can simply go in and change that director and change the magazine for you. And then
Right.
you take that magazine, Gail, and you send it out to all of your colleagues and all of your friends. And
Wow.
then
And it's
they
just
connect to
digital.
it.
It's
And
just,
it's growing
yeah,
organically over and
just
over
tap tap on my computer and away it goes.
and away it goes. So that
Yeah.
really is we're giving so much value. It's you to register your business. It's $150, and that gives you an annual directory, and that listing directory that you have is a mini website. So you can do all kinds of things with it. It
Mhm.
holds videos. It holds your photos. It just is so robust.
Mhm.
Of course, as we're growing and building this directory, we're offering a full page ad for free in one of the magazines.
Wow.
That won't last forever
Mhm.
because it's very time consuming and
Mhm.
um, costly.
Yeah.
But we are in the building stage, and we want to give the absolute best services and best products
Mhm.
to build and for people to believe in us, for women to join, to band with us so that
Mhm.
we can, keep our elbows up and
Mhm.
band across Canada and
Mhm.
make a very strong female economic drive uh,
Mhm.
because Canadian women are really the backbone of the economy.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow. I know you told me that when I signed up, but there are some things that I didn't catch the first time, so I'm going, wow. And I also know when you told me the cost, I'm like, am I losing my hearing? Um, and I might have confirmed it with you. I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you sure this is what it is?
Well, I've kept it at $150.
Mm-hmm.
And it's co-op funding. The more people that come and join the
Mm-hmm.
directory,
Mm-hmm.
the better it is for everyone else.
Right.
And
Wow.
I want to attract someone that makes jams to someone that is a CEO of a tech company.
Right.
All women have the opportunity, all women have the voice. We all contribute
Yeah.
to Canada, big or small.
Wow.
And we're the ones that are the threads of Canada.
Yeah. That's beautiful. How very inclusive. That is so important to me when it comes to businesses, that sense of belonging, that inclusivity. Um, I was often left out of things in school because I was short. I was little, and nobody wants a little basketball player on their grade two basketball team, right? So that was very painful. All joking aside, as a result, that's something that I have brought with me all my life is that I know what it feels like, even because, I mean, just as a kid, it was awful. And I love the fact that you're including, like you say, the jams to the CEO of a tech company. It's just the
The tech
playing field
company
is there.
needs the jam,
Yeah, yeah,
and the jam maker needs the tech company.
100%. Yeah,
We need
one-stop
each other.
shopping.
And going back to Daria's opening statement,
Hmm.
we really need to straighten our crowns.
We do.
Be able to
Yeah.
go into a room and
Hmm.
talk about Gail and her business to
Yeah.
someone else. We
Yeah.
need to really advocate for each other.
Hmm.
And that's the
100%.
strength of a confident woman.
Hmm.
If she
Yeah.
can talk about your business and
Yeah.
not hers,
Yeah.
that's the strength of a
There
confident.
you go. Yeah. And that's the self-esteem piece as well.
Absolutely, it
Right.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I've got a few chills here. Yeah. So I'm loving the whole idea. And I just really want to take a moment before I ask you for closing comments. And thank you for your efforts, the birth of this, to both of you, your hard work, because this is not something that is just wanted, it's needed. And I've not seen a concept like this, very unique, like a digital magazine online. I mean, you can reach so many people that need it, it's affordable for everyone. When we think of where we spend $150 in a month, I probably drive through Starbucks and spend that much in a month, or maybe 2 months. I don't know. Maybe 150 is a stretch. But really, it's about prioritizing. And when you are an entrepreneur, I know what was problematic for me in the beginning. Keep your rear end out of the kitchen and out of the laundry room. And if your bed's not made, who cares? Work on your business. If it's not a revenue generating activity, or you're not networking, which I think is a revenue generating activity that takes time, then it's not a business.
Mhm.
It's like, who cares if the bed is not made? If you sleep with someone regularly, I mean the same person, of course, but if you get into bed with that same person overnight and they don't like the bed not being made, it's like, well, they can make it, right? And that's kind of that old mentality. Because I grew up in that kind of household, kind of what do we call it? Like some people might not know this depending on age, but that leave it to beaver, you know. My mom came close to vacuuming the house in high heels and a dress. So, that's what it was like. And I'm like, I am not having any part of that. Not at all. So here we are.
And again, Gail, to your comments, is that when you're listing your directory, put in your phone number, put in your email, put
Yeah.
in all the contacts that you can.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk to women that say, "Oh no, I don't want anyone to know," why are you in this?
Hello? Yeah.
Every channel of communication should
Yeah,
be open.
exactly.
If you want to do business,
Yeah, rule number
up.
one. Precisely. Yeah, yeah, I hear you for sure. And that is something we need to get over as well. Okay, so that's all that's what I wanted to say to both of you. What else would you like to say to our listeners in any closing comments?
Well,
Well,
Gail,
in
I'd love
quote,
to thank you. Thank you for having us on.
Oh, my
It's
pleasure.
always great to get a spot to promote your business.
Hmm.
I know that you've got some wonderful active listeners, and I've been following your podcast. It's fantastic. So thank you so much. I really look forward to meeting you women through this podcast,
Hmm.
and certainly when you go into She Canada, all of my contacts are all over the place. I welcome telephone calls. I pick up every phone call. I answer every email. There's no question of if you have you're a little bit shy about putting on your listing, phone me. I will do your listing for you. I'm
Hmm.
very fast at it. I'm really good at it.
Hmm.
And so there shouldn't be, don't worry about if you're not computer literate, I will help you do that. And I'm open to really anything, open to brainstorming business ideas. That is one of the things that I love to do in my day. And in fact, I spend more time than not helping people just to talk through their businesses.
Hmm.
Just having an outside perspective or someone to bounce off ideas. I
Hmm.
see a lot of businesses and I see what's working. And I love talking to women in business. That
Hmm.
is my absolute pleasure.
Well, you're so authentic with it, both of you, with what you're doing. And I'm not certain if we mentioned this yet, but this is such a, to me, it sounds like such a benefit is that firstly, you're sisters.
We're twins.
We're twins. I mean, you're twins. Right. And we do have this on YouTube, so there is video and people might go, "Wow, you guys are twins?" Well, it's the other types of twins that look different, right? You're not identical twins, right? So the fact that you had your grandmother, your mother as entrepreneurs and you're also sisters, oh my gosh, that entrepreneurial DNA runs so deep. And that in itself, I think, is an amazing bonus. And here you are working together doing something
I don't
fantastic.
have children. Daria has children, and they do have entrepreneurial spirit. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
it just it continues to flourish. And
Hmm.
the directive was when we were growing up about what can you make and what can you sell. And
Ah,
I hear myself saying that to
yeah.
my nieces.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, what can you do? How can you make a difference? How can
yeah.
you solve someone's problem?
Mm,
And that's all about pu- passing it forward.
hmm.
There are incredible women
Yeah,
in Canada.
that's
Yeah.
encouraging. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Thank you so much. And thank you for your kind words. Daria, what would you like to leave
Gail,
us with?
I want to congratulate you for everything that you're doing. And I've heard your story, and wow, so much ambition and resilience. And you are not letting an age stop you. In fact,
Mm.
every time I've met you, you're flourishing and your ideas are busting and bursting. And I certainly know that you're doing amazing work to help entrepreneurs through
Mm,
coaching.
mm,
And thank you for starting this podcast.
mm.
Thank you for doing what you're doing. And as women, we have to straighten each other's crowns. And,
Yeah,
when I meet someone that needs a little bit of work, I'm going
yeah.
to send them your way.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And
You're
I'm going
welcome.
to promote the Dickens. I think that's okay to say. It's going to promote the heck out of both of you and She Dash Canada. And I'm really looking forward to just keeping adding more to my page and getting used to using it. I mean, I've only had it for like I think 2 weeks, so I haven't had a chance to really stick my fingers into the pie, but I'm looking forward to it. And I'm grateful to both of you
Thank
for
you.
bringing your passion and making something tangible with it that so many women, people, women can benefit by of all ages. You know, you don't have to be my age to join or find the success with it, but even the young gals starting out, you know, this is the time is when you're just starting to blossom with your ideas, is get in on this. So thank you so much to both of you, and I wish you every success, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Gail, and you're welcome.
Yeah, take good care. And yes, where do we find you again? I don't think I mean, it's She-Canada. And is that the
.com.
best place to
Yeah.
oh my
She,
goodness,
she dash
dash.
dot
Yeah.
com.
Yeah, I got trouble with the dot and the dash. It's like Morse code, you know, I don't know what to do with it. So that's the best place to go, and that's the only one we need to
Yeah.
mention here. Okay, absolutely perfect.
She-Canada.com.
Yeah.
Always on top of Shen fashions.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that when I checked. I'm like, am I in the right
Love it.
place? Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, a good plug for Shen too, I guess, right? Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much. You both take care, and I'm sure we'll see you around the block real soon.
Great. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Gail.